Hi, today we're going to be discussing the elements of the bar and how to properly do your technique. It's not like a just generalized exercise where as long as you're sweating it's good. You have to really start to learn how to exercise the technique properly. So I'm here with Talia and we're going to start with pliés and go through all 10 one at a time. The first thing you want to know about your bar is that basically you want to go a slow thing, then a quick thing, and a slow thing pretty much through all the 10 or whatever your teacher is giving you, because we have short twitch fibers and we have fast twitch fibers, and then slow twitch fibers in each of the muscles. We want to make sure they both warm up and they both get worked. So we're going to start with pliés, which are generally done slowly with lots of notes so that you can be smooth and sort of largo about the whole thing. So Talia's going to start in first facing me. Normally you have the left hand at the bar, but we don't care because we're rotation. Our rotation is, by the way, whatever your rotation is naturally with your knees over your toes. You should always check that before you begin at the bar. She wants to try to remember her good placement with her shoulders, ears, da-da-da-da, all the way down. And then she's going to, arms going to come usually preparation 7, 8. That's also telling the body, I'm ready to do ballet now. So when you do Demi Pli, and first you're going to take your knees over the toes every time and return squeezing the inner thighs together. So if you can just face front. So she's going to go Demi Pli, and as she comes up, she's squeezing the inner thighs together. As she's bending, she's trying to go to the bottom where her heels are still on the floor, but not stop there. So it's very continuous. So the Grand Plie, on the other hand, let's go back to facing side, would be she goes through the Demi Plie to the bottom where her heels are still on the floor, can start up, and then she continues all the way down. But as she returns, she wants those heels down on the floor as soon as possible, and then she straightens. Can you do that angling out so you can sort of show them one more time? So she goes through that Demi Plie, very nice, and heels come off when they have to, returning as soon as possible, and opening side. Beautiful. She is timing her arm with her plie finish, as you can see, and she's also trying to work the big muscles of the body, primarily the back, the glutes, the rotation, the quads, and the hamstrings. So that's the plie part of the first exercise. This next part would be the Pli Bra. So she's going to stretch over with straight knees, lifting the chest, leading with the chest over to the front, keeping the knees nice and straight. Arm comes with, she drops her head, and then if she stretches her back out, she's under 30. That's the normal technical way to do it. Another way to do it is to roll up the back on the way up. So she still lifts her chest, she goes all the way down, dropping the head, and then she rolls up the back. And I always recommend this for older people, to keep the back supple. Okay, you don't have to like lift out like that. To reach an arch to the back, first thing she does is she pulls up all the core muscles, lifting through the top of the head. Arm goes to the top of the head. Go ahead. Okay, so she's going to keep her hand in relationship to the top of her head, and then she's going to roll back up. You don't want to sit into the lower back, so that's why she lifts up, putting your hand up here first. And then she lifts her waist up, so she goes from the top of her head, starts back, her upper back starts back, and then finally lifted, she goes into the mid-lower back, and then she comes back up. Very nice. And then the third part of the exercises, of course, is the rise. Now, most of the time when we rise in the plie exercise, we're doing what we call elevate, which is straight knees, and come down straight knees. So she's going to squeeze her thighs together as she rises, and on the way back down as well. And she's going to go as high as she can, remembering that she's not warmed up yet. So it'll get better as she gets warmer. We're not really looking for full tilt yet. So let's see a second position. Second position, of course, is the exception to the rule, because in the second Grand Plie, the heels stay on the floor. I'll hold on to you. So she's coming down, and her hips can't go lower than her kneecap. So there she goes. She's going, going, going. She can't go lower than that. Then she starts sitting into the plie. So that would be the only difference with second. You want to show fourth, maybe facing me. Fourth position is never wider than the length of your foot. And so that's pretty perfect, and she knows that. She wants to be in the middle of her 2 feet. Most people tend to want to be on the back foot, but we want her to be on equal footing, 50-50. So as she does the grand plie, arm to second, she stays there. Her hips stay there, knees stay over the toes, and on the way back, the heels come down right away, and the knees stay. That was beautiful. All right? And then, of course, third and fifth have a slight difference face front. Third position is for beginners, and that you can see is two things. The heel is into the arch of the back foot, and also she's not crossed at the thigh. She's only crossed at the calf muscle. As she gets better, go into fifth. Now, all of a sudden, she's crossing the thighs and the calf muscle. It's a much more difficult position to be in, so don't try that until you've taken many actually, classes. All right? And then when you go up to rise and balance, at any time you're going to move your feet so both feet are together. As you can see, she's got 1 foot, 2 heels showing. Here, you can hold on to me. And now she's going to squeeze her thighs together. She's also going to squeeze her derriere together. She's lifting her head up through the ceiling, and she's pushing her shoulders down. And she hopefully will get a nice bounce out of that. Very good. So this is how I want you to work the first plie exercise, okay? Thanks.